Morning, Lillian. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
How is the going so far?
It's all right.
Wow. So can you give us, let's start at 7:05. So just hold a bit.
Okay.
All right. Lillian, good morning again. It's already 7:05. And since it's an open webinar, I would wish us to kick off because time is also not on our side. Maybe you can kick off with a word of prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, you are so grateful this morning for your mercies and forgiveness. You have provided us a forum to share with your people on matters of management, leadership, and even life. May you give us wisdom. And the participants, dear Father, may you meet the expectations of their life and their dreams and their vision. For this is our prayer of faith in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good. Today we want to look at stress. And I recall in 2003, I got my first promotion as a manager. And that job gave me some stress initially. Previously, I had always been working alone, reporting to a supervisor. But now comes an opportunity to supervise over 40 people across the country. The job was a key account manager for Harco Industries. And I want to tell you, it brought me a different cup of tea altogether, because now you are no longer being gauged as yourself, but you're also being gauged as according to the performance targets of other people who also do not understand you. So the transition was a very stressful one. And we even had to undergo some management restructuring and lay off a couple of those ones because we didn't require them. So also the stress of now telling somebody you do not have a job, somebody who has been working for the organization over 10 years. So that also was a stressful moment. So when you are in leadership and management, and also when you are in life, is you come across stress. The second opportunity that I found that was very stressful is my first time when I was restructured or engineered out of work by the same organization. After working for them for another 3 years, we got a restructuring and I found myself without work. Again, an area and a time of quite a lot of stress. So stress is a reality around us. Statistics are showing us the World Health Organization, which I know Lillian, you have worked with these NGOs, and also the United for Global Health, Mental Health, and also World Federation for Mental Health. Statistics are telling us close to 1 billion people globally have mental stress, and that is about 14% of the world population. The death that is caused by stress, severe stress, severe stress makes you live 10 to 20 years lesser than you would have lived. And they're also telling us there is one person who is dying every 40 seconds out of suicide because of stress. That converts to about 800,000 people globally. And you saw yesterday in the news, a gentleman parks a car on Nyali Bridge, leaves the wife in a vehicle, and just jumps into the ocean. And also we saw the police constable who works with GSU in the Ministry of Ministry of Internal Security, killing his spouse with a gun, who is a traffic police. That is stress. And therefore I thought that my little that I can do for people out there, Lillian included, is to look at then how do we manage this stress. I've already said that stress is like poison. It's like a pot of poison, and it is killing us. But somebody also said that stress can be a spice of life or a kiss of death. A kiss of death because it is killing many people. And we've already spoken about the statistics. A spice of life because a little bit of stress is good in our life because it pushes us to perform and to become better. Yeah, so it is either way. So what is stress? Stress is harmful physical and emotional response that occurs when demands do not match capabilities. When you have so many things being demanded as a parent, like I know William is a parent, I'm also one. As a father, as a husband, a wife, as a business person, I know we have been speaking a lot over, your professional trend and many others. This, when you have all these demands on you, and yet you don't feel like you have the resources or the capacities, then there comes a stress. It brings uncertainty and predictability in life. And even our students, as they study, They also go through stress because sometimes the demands are coming in from every teacher, and you need to ensure that your assignments are ready, because I have them at the university and colleges. Stages of stress. The first stage we speak about is the alarm stage. This is where you feel an arousal. Yeah. So also welcome Beatrice, Chamge, Missing, Karara. We are already on. So we are looking at the stages of stress. And we are saying that the first stage is what you call the alarm stage, where it's a general arousal of your body defenses and you feel you need to move. For example, it's like a car speedometer that is doing around 60 to 70. Welcome, Beatrice, Chamge, Missing,
Hi,
Yemune.
Chamigay.
Welcome so much. We are already ongoing, so just join us in. And I'm saying we are looking at the stages of stress. First one is the alarm, that we are saying your car is between, especially now with what you call the speed limit. You find when your car reaches around 80, you start feeling a tick tock that now you are exceeding, especially public service vehicles. And I was telling Lillian, and I'm sure others who come through, is that a little bit of stress is not bad. And this is generally where you have the alarm. You feel under tense, maybe sometimes a headache. Sometimes you feel unsure of yourself. You are forgetting keys in the house. You don't know where you placed a certain item. That is what I'm calling the alarm. The second stage is what you call the adaptation stage. Now, this car is really moving. Many vehicles don't have these very high speedometers. And now your responses, the whole body changes. Homeostatic balance, that is the balance between the internal environment inside you and the external, becomes, it tips over and you start feeling you are losing it now. You are no longer sure of yourself as a mother. You are no longer sure of yourself as a manager. And I was sharing with Lillian, when I became the manager for the first time, it was a stressful period. I was used to work alone. Now I had 40 people to control across the country, and I had to speak to them. So adapting that, I remember the manager who was now my senior, I used to really disturb him a lot because I was not understanding. Why am I calling this? You can't reach some of them. Mobile telephony had just come into the market. I couldn't reach, some of them are telling you I'm out of network. And sometimes you could tell they are lying. So it was a stressful period for me. Adaptation stage, you start feeling imbalance between the external and internal environment. The third stage is the exhaustion stage. This is where you have very prolonged stress that is not going away. And it makes you as an individual prone to diseases, headaches, persistent headaches, colds that never go away. It's not corona, and you find you are not able even to provide and do anything for you or your family. You have prolonged stress where you find it is becoming depression. In fact, the speedometer is no longer now moving. It has gone back to zero. And in this stage, I am not a professional counselor. I've done a higher diploma in theology and counseling, but I'm not a professional counselor. So this is a point where you require a professional counselor that you need to sit down with them. Food for thought. All of us have seen zebras as we drive along Naivasha Road sometimes, or even you have been to a national park. These guys don't look stressed. And you remember, they are always a meal to a lion or a cheetah any moment. But they look graceful. They don't suffer from ulcers. So how do you respond to stress? And we are saying that a little bit of stress is not bad. Even when you are working, even as a parent, even as a manager, even as a community person, there is some expectations on you. Because of those responsibilities, they come with some element of stress. However, problems arise when stress becomes chronic. And this is where it becomes like a depression. Depression. Your resources are depleted, and you can go. It can cause. In fact, you have already shared statistics with Lillian that one person every 40 seconds dies out of suicide, and suicide mostly is caused by mental health related to stress. And we have said 1 billion people globally by 2020 statistics by World Health Organization are showing that they have a mental disorder. And you saw yesterday, a GSU police officer kills the wife who is a traffic police woman. That is it. That is stress. A gentleman parks on Nyali Bridge, jumps into the ocean, leaving the wife in the vehicle. The wife was still expecting him to come back. That's stress. Stress is related to our personality types. There are two types of personalities you are going to come across in psychology, we say, in your organization or even at home. The first guy is what you call personality type A. The people who speak very quickly. They walk and eat very fast. I have a cousin of mine, he tells me food bores him. Chakula inambore. So yeye anakulanga haraka haraka. Within no time as you turn around, there's no food on the plate. They are impatient. You could have a boss like this or a director. Or maybe Lillian at Care International. Did you have somebody like this who was very hurried?
Yes, definitely.
There was, Beatrice, do you think you have a guy who you feel is very impatient, who you work with?
Yes, I do. To
You are
the point
laughing.
where, yeah, at times you experience where they even want to control upwards
Yes, yes. Oh,
because they want
yourself,
things to be done
yeah?
their way.
So you are an A, yeah?
Yeah, so you're in a catch-22 situation.
Yeah, and we are told
Yeah.
when you have a boss, it's also good to learn about a boss. If you feel your boss is feeling threatened by you, it's always good to ensure that any moment you are making a decision, always copy them, CC them, drop them a message, a WhatsApp message. Let them not, because remember, they always remain your boss, and they have some control in terms of your career trajectory. So you do not want to upset them, even if you feel I am more qualified or I'm even more better than them. So these guys who are personality type A, they feel guilty when they are relaxing. They feel like I'm wasting time. For them, leisure is work. And they believe that success only comes due to hard work, that I must work very hard. They are also very competitive. They have a chronic sense of time urgency. They are very good timekeepers. I worked for a German MD. His name was Norbert, and he's late. He's passed on. He moved to Dubai, but I was told he passed on. And this was a personality type A. Sense of time urgency. Meetings start at 7, they had clockwork. Interrupt others. These are kind of what you call, they are very aggressive. They don't want, as you speak, they're already answering your questions. They're already, filling up your sentences. They do many things at the same time. And we are told that this personality type is like a rat. They can be associated to a rat, the wild rat. They're always moving all over, they're all over. I had an MD also. No, it was a director of sales and marketing. Some of you may know him. I don't want to mention his name. And he was this kind of a personality. Even traffic jam, you could find him overlapping with he's driving a big car. Of course, it's not branded. I was in marketing, but you find him overlapping on the highway, several vehicles. So they are urgency. They have a very high level of urgency, and these individuals are prone to stress. And if you have one of them who is your boss, they can easily even dump the stress on you because they are prone. Then you have what you call a personality type B. And I want, by the time we finish, you can tell me, the two ladies, which personality type you are. Type B, slow speech. They speak very slowly. They walk slowly. They prefer to do one thing at a time. They tend to schedule very few activities. They are aware of their surroundings. They are not very competitive. They are not guilty of about relaxing or leisure. They don't. They work, but they also relax, and they are less prone to stress. So which personality type are you, Beatrice? We are not many we can share.
Mhm.
Lillian?
I think I tend to identify more with A. There are some aspects there that
Yes,
I can relate to, but
yes,
there are some that I don't relate to. So
yeah.
I'm more inclined to A.
Okay, good.
Mm.
And what about Lillian?
Yeah, it's interesting. I would probably say I was going to say type B, but when you started saying walk slowly, I don't
Uh-huh.
agree with some of those.
You are
But
learning to walk slowly.
no, I don't walk slowly, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not so competitive. I like things being cool.
Yes,
But you have hardworking, yes, and wanting targets met.
yes.
But yeah, so I'm sort of seeing both, but I'm definitely not a type A. I'm not
I
that
know.
aggressive.
I think. So, thank you so much, Lillian. I know I have met Lillian. We have interacted like 2 or 1 time, and I think you are very sure. You are saying what you are saying is true. You could be in that area. It doesn't mean that you. I mean, you are more like a people person. You are more like what I would call. You are willing to listen. Of course, I haven't met Beatrice, but I can tell from the profile and everything else is that probably she's that driven, which is, of course, we are different because you require them differently. For example, when you are in a team situation, you want to project more of B because you want to relate with the others. But of course, when you get to a leadership position, then you want to tend more towards A because you need to push things to work. But of course, you can push things. Look at Kibaki, because you practical cases. Kibaki was a B. He was more or less a behind the guy person. But of course, he performed because you allow people room to work. But of course, you look at our current president, I can tell for a fact he is an A. You can see he gets angry very quickly. And he is able, of course, he is more outspoken. He is outgoing there. He wants to do things. So different personalities, both of them are good and you perform. But we are saying the first one is prone to stress. And for me, I think I tend towards A. And I agree with Beatrice. We seem to be in the same club. What are the signs of stress? You'll see in your staff members, even in yourself. Negative attitude, worry, persistent worry. You are waking up at 2 a.m., you can't sleep. Obsessive thoughts about even life, about family, about even death. Fear, excessive fear. You're always sad. Loneliness. You feel like the world has abandoned you. Your family members do no longer care. You feel your extended family members no longer care. You feel confused. Yeah, you feel lack of concentration. In fact, when you have a project to work on, you are not finishing it. Jumping from one item to another. You're always watching your back at the workplace. You feel indecisive. Those are emotional and mental signs. They also psychological signs, hopelessness, persistent feeling of hopelessness, insomnia. You feel you can't sleep at night. You go to sleep, you have to use medicine to go to sleep. Nightmares, people running after you. You remember this guy called SpongeBob and his friend? Yeah, always moving around in a crazy way. Depression, of course, as we are saying, suicide is the ultimate. Physical symptoms that you are stressed, or a staff member you are working with, or a family member is stressed, you feel muscle tightness, either, especially around the head, neck, muscle spasms. Sometimes even your muscles, are shaking inside. Headaches. You feel you feel like you have a persistent headache that is always ongoing. Welcome, Samuel Kiarie. Welcome. We are already
Thank you.
ongoing.
Sorry, I'm a bit.
It's okay. Don't worry. You're on time. This is the right time for you. Headaches. You feel persistent headaches. Tight jaw. Guys who always walk around like they want to pounce on somebody. Remember a book we used to read called Things Fall Apart, if you are from my generation? And there was a gentleman called Okonkwo. He was almost pouncing on everybody in the States. Teeth grinding. Feel somebody is grinding their teeth. Fatigue. You're always tired and you don't know why. Even when you have a whole weekend or a whole, you have relaxed, you're always feeling tired. Constipation, you are not passing, you have a problem when you are, and of course you'll hear some background noises. I'm doing it from the home. Now we are almost working from home. So if you hear sufuria hitting another one, just allow me. That's normal in life. Or my son is preparing to go to school. Diarrhea. You go to the toilet, you're always diarrheaing. So this could be physical. You have poor decision making. This is cognitive. Yeah, more about the mind. Poor decision making, lack of concentration. You are forgetting. You are forgetting keys. Where have I kept the keys? Where have I kept my wallet? I had money yesterday. I don't know where the money is. Those are signs of stress. Physical effects of prolonged stress, high blood pressure, ulcers, and even fatigue. You feel fatigued throughout. And these ones are not good. Ulcers are not a good thing. And of course, it suppresses your growth as a person. And it affects even your reproductive issues about ovulation, impotence for men, and loss of libido also for men. You're no longer interested in anything. And there's also impaired disease resistance. Anything small, any cold everybody's catching around, you seem to catch it very quickly. And you are down, and you're really, really down a lot. For those ones who are reaching retirement, I know majority of you are not here, but I know I'm there personally. You find you have so much time. You used to be very busy in the office, but now you have so much time in your hands. And I know some of these people probably BTs, you have them in your workplace. Guys probably who are reaching retirement. Do you have any?
But very few.
Very few. What
like
is
maybe
your,
around 5. Our age tenor is between right now it's around 28 to 35 there.
Wow, that's a great
That's
age.
still a very young workforce.
Yeah, I can see an organization. This one is probably for maybe your friend. You could have a friend who is retiring. They feel they have a loss of identity, loss of, we get identified by the places we work. That's for a fact. I was speaking to a team from a company called Semestia, Center for Mathematics and Science and Technology in Naivasha. That was about 2 years ago. They had invited us. There were guys who were in 55 years approaching retirement, and the company was very gracious. They came up with a course to help them to start preparing for retirement. I was to speak to them how to start and market a small micro enterprise. And one of the ladies shared with us. She shared, and she said they have been saving money. I think it was a joint account. But then I don't know how the hubby was able to be withdrawing that money without her knowledge. So she had just realized all the savings, and she wanted to start a butchery, had been used. And you could feel a lot of stress in that room. Even the guys, in fact, when they found themselves in Naivasha, they were joking and telling each other, I never thought you were that close to retirement, because they had taken 50, 55, 57, and then the ones nearing 60 years. And of course, now they were forming a club. So when you retire, you lose identity. There is that loss of identity. Family issues, now you have a lot of time in your hands. So you are back in the home. Maybe you have been working away from home. So, and this maybe can help Beatrice and your team, because if they are 35, in the next 15 years, that organization may not require them. So you can also help them. We can be able to come up with a program to help them to start preparing. Estate planning, when you are retiring, you need to plan for your family, in terms of inheritance. You feel isolated. Of course, sometimes there is a death of a spouse, occupational issues, loss of career, you are no longer working, you don't have constant income. And of course, you feel you still have the energy at 60 to continue working. And that's why some of us try to do, moonlighting, and you go into also, business, because you're also looking at that. Health issues, you are losing health, you no longer have a medical cover, lack of mobility, diet, are moving in a group of people where you find like 5 out of 10 don't take sugar. You find another group tells you, me, I don't take tea leaves. So diet issues, chronic diseases are not going away. Time management issues, because now you no longer have a structured schedule like where you used to work. You have so much time in your hands, and maybe you start losing meaning with life. So how do you handle stress as I come to a conclusion? And now this is for all of us. Number one, watch what you say to yourself when you feel under stress. Speak positively. There's something we call the 5 a.m. club in the morning. What time do you wake up in the morning? Some people call it 4 a.m. Maybe Beatrice is a 4 a.m. person. Some other guys, 5 a.m. But it is good to speak positive. We call it affirmation. Affirm yourself that you are good enough. You have all that you require as you are right now. Be positive. Prevent repetitive strain injuries, especially when you are working. Take some breaks. Encourage your workers, Beatrice, to take some breaks. Deal with change. Now we are going through change. A lot of it with COVID, major change. And therefore, help your workers. Let them not fight it. Learn to live with change. And another way of handling stress is, of course, at home, let's sometimes turn off the gadgets. The TV, we are on phone throughout. They are also stressors, because the way the TV, I have been in marketing, and I know the way we do advertisements is that there is always what you call FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. We put into any watching person on TV who is watching an ad that if they do not buy today, they are going to lose out. And you'll see the next time you go to a supermarket, you feel driven to buy, and you wonder why. It is because of what you call FOMO, fear of missing out, and repetition, because TV and radio and even online media, things are being repeated. Go for regular medical checkups. You take your car. Those ones who have cars, you take your car to the garage. Also, why not yourself? And especially when you have a cover where you are working, annual medical checkup, important, even if you're not feeling ill. Count your blessings one by one. The day before yesterday, I was speaking to young men, about 39 of them, who have gone through what you call the rites of passage, the initiation ceremony. So I was invited to speak to them about life skills, and specifically an emotional intelligence. And I told them, can you count your blessings? You have a bed, very small items. You have 2 eyes, you have a nose, you are breathing in. Do you know right now people who are in hospital because of COVID, those guys could be paying anywhere between 3,000 to 6,000 to even 10K daily for oxygen. Something that you and me, Lillian, Beatrice, Carrie, we are breathing without any stress. Count your blessings. Hang out with positive people. Share your problems with others. And I do what you call executive coaching. You know, because sometimes when you share with the people you work with, and I know, Lillian, there are so many things we have shared together with. When you are sharing with the people you are working with, these are your competitors. They always look at you negatively. So you can identify, we are ready, we are there. We can always smile a lot. Can we see the faces of the people around so that we see whether they are smiling? Lillian, can we see your face? And Beatrice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I won't.
You're
Let
on
me
your
leave the
phone.
video.
Okay, can we smile to each other? Yes. Hi, Beatrice. Thank you. Samuel, can we see you smile to us? Because you know, it's a small exercise. Or Samuel is on the highway. Good. Remember to use what you call relaxation techniques, and I'm going to show one before the end. Learn to unwind. Whoever has seen a cat stressed? Nobody. A cat, hata ukikachukua juu namna hii kanajistretch and then drops out. I think Carrie has dropped out. It's okay. How do you also manage, resolve conflicts in a healthy way? Ensure that you are fair. In fact, I was calling it win-win. Ensure that the other person you are in conflict with. Yesterday, I had a colleague who, in a small NGO we work, and I feel there has been some breeding conflict, and I called them. And first of all, I invited them for lunch. We took lunch several days ago together. Then yesterday I called them and I said, I think there's something that is not going right here. Let's look for a middle ground. And of course, we also invited somebody else who is senior. And then we were able to resolve the matter. And I hope it is resolved. Get your house in order and also office in order. When you have so many reports pending, you find that it may stress you. So kindly ensure that you do them on time. Have a hobby. My hobby is nature walk. I go into nature. I love every other 2 weeks, I'll go into a park somewhere. Just walk, what you call me time. Yeah. Be a good time manager, regular exercises. This morning I was on the ground, doing my press ups and jumping jacks and all that daily, maybe only 1 or 2 days in a week. That also helps your body. And also meditation. Meditation is just about 5 minutes of silence when you wake up in the morning, whatever time you wake. Take time, work, volunteer, especially I know some of us maybe you are in transition, you are out of work. Volunteer in an organization, in your church. I'm volunteering as part of my giving CSR to a football club called Rising Duma. And I am offering them free counseling services and also free, personal mastery classes every week for about 30 minutes. Volunteer, give, meet friends, keep a schedule, what I'm calling the 5 a.m. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? First, maybe they call it the 5 a.m. club or 4 a.m. club, depending on or 6 a.m. But anything after 6, you are going to find everybody has woken up and there's too much rush. I would recommend 5 or 4:30. When you wake, the first maybe 10 minutes, your meditation, your prayer. Another 10 minutes or 15 minutes, do some element of exercise. Skip, do your press ups if you can, but move the body, because we are told by psychologists, whatever moves the body moves the mind. And it's also a way of hitting on your stress. Then from there, read. Get some good book, read management. What I'm reading personally is a book called, because I'm speaking to some people about leadership, The Leader in You by Dale Carnegie. That's what I'm reading right now. And I know it's good to have a book when you're reading, because they help you. If you look at senior CEOs in this country, and I was listening to one of them, Marion Gadoga, and also many other who I know, and some have mentored me, they read in the morning. And then of course, it's also good to do what you call journaling. Journal. This is my journal. Every morning when I wake up, once I have done my reading, once I have done my prayers, I'll write. It doesn't have to be I'll write what I did yesterday, maybe what I learned, especially like now I was telling you, I was speaking to a colleague who I thought we had a thief. I'll write, because it's also a way of, offloading. Self-care, we have spoken about me time. Every other time, alone, yourself, treat yourself. Don't wait to be pushed, because stress is going to push you and it is going to kill you. These guys are just relaxed, waiting to be pushed. And finally, there's something you call birthday. Happy birthday. Be yourself. Invite new challenges, because life is challenging. Recall where you have succeeded in the past, because life has not always been this difficult. There are times you know very well. I remember my first time to fly out of this country. I went to India. I was spent in India about 3 weeks. It was a good feeling. It was about 2007. So when you feel down, when you remember, because I was putting up in very good hotels, Hyatt hotels, being treated well like a king. Remember those past triumphs, and you are also going to have future ones. Trust your instinct, especially guys in management, Beatrice, Lillian, Carrie. Trust your instinct. Your gut feeling will never lose you. When you have a decision to make sometimes, trust your, and then have faith in God. Whether you are Muslim, Allah, or Christians, believe that God wishes you good. Desire only the best. Affirm your strengths, and you have what? Remember, you have got what it takes. The wheel of life. Live life in a balance. Check on your health, check by physical and what you eat, wealth creation. Some of these things that we do online, we are helping others people, and I'm sure, of course, God has a way of also bringing resources your way. Take care of your family and friends because they are important, especially as you retire. Playtime, hobby, fun, get time when you do your playtime. Relationships with others, your career or job is very, very important. Personal space, what you are calling the me time, and contribution. What is it you are giving to society? Yeah, either spiritually, where you serve in church, or even now volunteering the way I'm talking about. Remember to visit our sites. We are on YouTube, Joe Nyutu, LinkedIn. I know that's why we met Beatrice. This is now we are in a virtual world. Lillian, of course, I have gone to supervise a student. We are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Ensure you are out there, even yourself as an individual. I know a CEO in this country. She is working for an organization, but she has a website. So Beatrice, I would encourage you, create, because there is content that you have. You can have a blog spot. And don't be worried, just ask your boss and tell them, I'm going to be blogging so that this is not used against you. Start doing it now because I'm sure it is going to pay back very, very soon. So thank you so much, guys. Erokamano, Kongoi, Oriomuno, Nuegamuno. And I'm happy to have had you here with me. I know it has taken some sacrifice. Maybe I can take one comment. I may not have, yeah, I can take, probably wherever you are in your office, can you sit up a little bit? Just sit up. If you can't, close your eyes. If you cannot, because there are people around you, fix your eyes on a certain item, especially on the roof. Gaze on that particular item. Fix your eyes there, or you close your eyes if you can. I want you to notice what you are thinking now. What are you feeling? And I want you to find a way of slowing down a little bit. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in again, breathe out. Slowly place your feet on the ground, family. Stretch a little bit if you can. If you're in the office, just squeeze your hands together, family. Now, can you notice where you are? Notice 5 things you can see around. Notice what you can hear, 3 things you can hear. Breathe in again. Is the air around you still, humid, fresh? Maybe there is detergent in the air. What can you hear or see around you? Notice what you are doing or where you are. Try to reach out on something and touch it. Maybe a diary, a pen, a cup. Reach out, touch it, feel it. Stretch your body a little bit. Maybe you can twist your neck. Notice that there is a world around you. And also notice that you can control what you say, how you say it. Even when you go to the next meeting, you can control what you say, how you say it, and notice how you are feeling now. Hopefully, maybe you are feeling a little bit relaxed, refreshed, rested, thoughtful, focused. Now you can relax. So guys, unless there's a question, 1 or 2 I can take, or a comment, we have come to the end of our webinar. And I'm so much appreciative, very, very appreciative for your presence. Maybe Carrie, you have a comment or a question?
Not a question, just a comment and just a vote of thanks from my end, just to say thank you for organizing this. Although I joined in late, I think my takeaway is the part of happy birthday. I think I'll diarize that and just keep that in mind.
Thank you so much. I think I'll share my email. My email is josephnyutu at Gmail. My number is there. You can drop me your email.
Okay.
My number is, so that I can be able to share these materials. I don't require to stay with them.
Okay, I've taken note of it. I'll drop you an email or a text.
Good. Thank you so much. Any other comments?
I think mine is just to say thank you for the session. It's helpful, and I think one of the things that we keep on learning is just trying to be self-aware as we walk through this journey. So it's important that every aspect keeps on changing, or you keep on improving. And I think the biggest challenge when you're in leadership is basically tackling different personalities, because there are those that can push you to the edge. There are those that will be cooperative. There are those that everyone has their own way of wanting to do things. And you find yourself at the center because you have to balance all that part. I am a firm believer of trying to ensure that you only reinforce positive behavior and not the negative, because there are those that also thrive on their negative aspect because they tend to have some influence. So it's a whole balance, and life is just about trying to constantly create a balance on the same. Now, on my question,
yes,
on those personalities that are highly competitive and like conflict, how do you help them identify their own issues also? Because sometimes it can come from the bottom.
And at the same time, they can also come from the top. And somebody has an issue and then they don't know they have an, okay, yeah, I agree.
Exactly, yeah, both ways, yeah.
Yeah. Good. You can have one of the things, because when you are in leadership, you have maybe a budget. And mostly you'll find you may have your boss who has an issue of that area. You can suggest a training in a very soft way. And then, for example, then when you have this person coming on board, you can do, there are some exercises that we normally do that bring out personality types. And of course, we also have it. So it will be put like in a learning session, but you know the target is that person. But now from a management where you are, you need to create some element of confidence with this individual. Don't show them like they are. But let me tell you, British, for a fact, because I've been in management, your personal disposition by its very nature can be a threat to somebody. You have not even said anything. Your demeanor, the way you handle your stuff, it can be a threat. And the moment people identify you are a threat, then they become a problem. So I would suggest you use more of your PR, and especially when you have a boss who is insecure. We have 4 types of, where you can also categorize people. There are people you call squares. There are people you call rectangle. It will be a lesson for another day. Triangles, circles. So mostly you find triangles are personality type A's. They're very competitive, but also they are myopic. They are short. There are areas they have blind spots. Remember what you used to say, the arena, the blind spot, the facade, and then hidden potential. So they have a blind spot, and one of them is probably the areas they are unsure. So you need to bring out their strengths. Don't look like you are competitive. And whenever you are putting something across to them in a meeting or even in one-to-one meeting, it's like you are offering a suggestion. Now, for the ones who are under you, because, for them, you are like a coach, then those ones you can sit down and actually mentor, or rather coach, because you have the authority. You identify somebody is a personality type A and they are not able to work with others. They're very hurried. You need to talk. For me, where I used to work in HACO, I had a director. When I got into management, he sat me down. He told me, This is where you have issues. You have been working alone, now you are working with others. You got to learn skills of working with others. And the way you used to, because I used to do my targets very quickly, my reports very fast. Then when you must know that you have other people who are not able to do things as quickly. And of course, they must meet targets, but you must have some patience. So I had like somebody, his name is Chris. He really sat down with me on many occasions to try. So when you are in a position of authority and you have somebody under you who have an issue, then those ones you can coach. But if it's somebody senior than you, then you got to use a lot of wisdom. I hope that business has helped. We can also take this offline and then, follow up on, I'm open for any coaching opportunity and even a training opportunity.
It has. Thank you so much.
Kongoi. Lilian, any comment? I think our time is almost up.
Okay. I think, thank you so much. This was quite a good webinar, and many things to take home. And the key one for me was more like the 5 a.m. club.
Wow.
So I'm also polishing up on that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what I can say for now.
Thank you. Beatrice, it's good to share with you that I know for a fact that Lillian, very professional HR, she is looking. So in your connections, if you feel, a girl can lift another girl. And since you are not very many, I know she is looking.
Sasa, noted.
Yeah, she works, she has been working in the NGO World Care International. So I know she is polished in terms of her work. Great. Thank you so much, guys. Noega, Kongoi, may the Lord bless you. We are going to organize another and probably in the next 2 or so weeks on a certain other area. I'll inform you. God bless you so much.
Asante.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you so much.